the time, I actually had aspirations to play football. I actually thought I would play football for a living. And when that fell by the wayside, uh,
For those of you who haven't seen Mark's work, definitely get out there and go and see him. I mean, I think every time I go and see him, there's always that, additional part of his expertise and skills that I haven't seen before. And I always think like, he really brings it to the table in terms of how, he takes that role and really turns it into something where you'd actually think that was the person. And I never forget when I went to see uh, one of the plays that you were in, and you were a pastor. And I remember you did a prayer,
mm,
and I remember at the end, and you said amen, and I said amen as well. And it was just like it was just
right,
so real. It was
that's
just
right.
so real. So yeah, so
Mm,
that was
mm,
really great and really
mm.
brings these characters to life. So I
Thank
know that, it's you just mentioned that, you've been doing this for 27 years. That's a long
you.
time.
Mm.
And, for any of those of you who, kind of want to know kind of how some of these things came about, can you kind of like sort of walk me through, like, when it first came to you, as even thinking about getting into acting, was that your
Mm.
original sort of career that you wanted to do, or was it something you knew, or did you fall into it?
I fell into it. And so what had happened was I had left school after not doing particularly well in my GCSEs back in 1990. And I went to sixth form. So that was back in the days when you didn't have to go to sixth form, but I chose to. And as one of my my retakes, my GCSE retakes, my sociology teacher, Mrs. Reed, suggested to me that I should do something called community theatre. She said, "You never know. Try it." She said, "Try it. You never know. You might like it." And that was my first entry into working in performance, in theatre, in a formal sense. And even when I did that, I did very well. I got an A for my GCSE. But I remember hearing stories about the fact that actors are always unemployed, etc., etc., and it put me off because at the time I actually had aspirations to play football. I actually thought I would play football for a living. And when that fell by the wayside, along with a couple of other things, I found my way back to theatre and acting.
If you want more helpful insights like this to help you grow your business, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss our weekly guests.
Then I sort of had 2 years of a little part-time job in Sainsbury's where I'd make my money. I was probably still playing football a bit, partying quite a bit, and then I think around 93. I Somebody had said to me, so I thought, you know what, maybe there is something in the acting world. And somebody had said to me, I can't remember who it was, that the best is this right? Yeah, the no, let me backtrack. I actually was interested in directing, actually. And somebody had said the best directors used to be actors. Now I subsequently realized that's not true. But I thought, oh, okay. Well, what I'll do then is so I enrolled in a BTEC National in Performing Arts. And so I was suddenly doing something formal. So in addition to the acting, I was also learning about designing for sets. I was learning about movement and dance and singing. And I think once I started that course, I very quickly lost a desire for directing and was very, very much honed in on the acting. And then I finished that so it was 93 to 95. I then got into drama school, the Manchester School of Television and Theatre. So I trained as a professional actor from 95 to 98. I also, in between then, I was also a member of the National Youth Theatre, which was quite cool. And then from '98, I left drama school, had several agents who were after me, chose one, and I'm still with that agent to this day, and making my living from it. So yeah, pretty. That's the standard journey for most actors, I would say, Liz. There's nothing particularly surprising about that. But that was my journey.
Yeah, that's great. That's great because I think, especially as you know, you kind of, I think it's great to see that when someone kind of like you said, fell into this, but then that skill was there, that gift was there anyway. So that
Mm.
to be able to kind of to nurture that, to bring that to now, I think that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
So well done, well done on that. Because I know sometimes I must take a while to kind of find out, really even what our purpose is or what it is that we really truly want to do. And then it's kind of like
Mm,
sometimes you're at age 40 and 45 and you do an
mm,
about turn and then start
mm,
again.
mm.
So no, so that's great. So tell me, what were some of the challenges that you would have had along the way? Because you'd have been against people who maybe have been doing this since, I don't know, some people have been doing some of this stuff since primary school, secondary school. So make sure to subscribe to the Best Minds TV YouTube channel by just clicking on the subscribe button below this video.